My name's Nina and I'm the local community builder, doing a lot of work in Foxhole over the years. My job really is to get people engaged back into their community, and so what I did is I do a lot of door knocking and I set up like a pop-up cafe on the grass over there to try and lure people in to wonder what it was all about. And I was able to ask them the questions about, what do you love about where you live? What do you think's missing? Is there any ideas you'd like to put in place for your community? And so many people said they just would love to have a safe space to come and sit and have a coffee, get safe space to see each other, meet up, because previously they had a pub which I think was open in afternoons as well, so they could get tea and coffee, and then that became the co-op, so there's nothing at all locally.
She set up a little pop-up cafe on the green outside, and I'd gone down to get a pint of milk and thought, what's going on over there? And I went and had a cup of tea and a chat, and she asked if I would be interested, and I'd not long retired, so I was looking for something that would occupy some time because I was a bit bored. I'd had 6 months of just doing nothing and I couldn't stand it any longer, so I was looking for something. And I said, yeah, I would be very interested.
I was speaking to some of the local community and we were trying to figure out where this cafe could be, and it was really obvious because Sanctuary Housing had an office within this row of shops that was always blinds down in darkness, wasn't really being used and was a wasted space, and several people said, well, what about in there? The community needed to lead this right from the beginning. There was a Christmas event and we noticed 2 Sanctuary people that were at the event, and I just said to them, go on, go and ask now, go on. And they did, they just went over, told Sanctuary what they really wanted to do and what it would feel like and how good it would be, and just asked the question, is it possible to use your premises? They thought it was a really good idea, so they'd go off and try and find out. So there was an 18-month gap before getting that answer. Our initial funding came from People's House Trust, and that was about £12,000, and that had to help us out with turning what was a corporate office into a really nice cosy feel cafe, and also to pay bills such as the electric, the telephone, even to get the waste taken away. We had to go with business waste. All that costs money, and they were very, very good. They obviously understood what sort of project we wanted to run and they went with it.
So I'm project coordinator. I originally came to the Crafty Fox as a volunteer. The job became available and I actually got the job. So I've been in post now for 6 months, and really I've got to know a little bit more about people and how the place works. And hopefully I'll be here for a while more. So it's very much a community-led project here, because we do what we sort of put into place what we feel people need. Because we are run by a committee and we're run by volunteers, we don't sort of have a boss. I mean, people say, oh, yeah, you're a coordinator, but we run on the premise that there is no boss and everything is decided as a group, which is the best way. That's why it works well, But it's more about the community and what the local community would want from the cafe.
Well, the Crafty Fox is a safe place for people to come, sit, have a chat if they're lonely, if they feel threatened in any way, if they have difficulty leaving the house. A lot of people that come in, they trust us here because we've built up a trust with them. A lot of people will walk past 3 or 4 times before they actually come in, but they feel safe here because they know that nobody will judge them, that there's nobody that will threaten them in here. We give them a cup of tea, piece of cake or whatever if they want it, and just generally chat with them. That was the start. Since then we've grown and we've got the citizens' advice who come in on a Wednesday and Thursday morning. We've got an anxiety and depression counsellor who comes in on a Friday all day. On a Friday evening, Youth Genesis use the cafe for their outreach workers. So that's for the youth of Foxhole. And we are now hoping to set up in the new year a men's self-help group one evening a month to start off with, for men who are feeling anxious, depressed, suicidal, things like that.
I come in because there was a benefit lady here, so obviously come in to see her, which did me good because she sorted out all my problems. The difference it made to me was, as I say, I was passing the door when Sally said to me, you know, come in, don't stand outside, come in, have a coffee and that. And from then on is when I started using the cafe, because you're getting to meet people from the area. They're not shy to talk to you. And even out of here, a lot of them are friends now.
The hub has really helped me. I was like depressed, isolated. Even though I had 3 kids at home, I dropped them to school. I'd take myself at home and lock myself in. And Nina knocked my door near to when I moved in, and I got to know her about events, and then she told me that they were opening a community cafe. I popped in and started having cups of tea and coffee, having chats, and then after Christmas came out the way, I started volunteering because I split with my boyfriend as well, and I was going for a rough time of that. And if I hadn't had the hub as a, volunteering, I think I would have gone back down with my depression and things, but they lifted me up, and
Before, there wasn't a lot to sell really. I used to stay at home. I'd go shopping maybe once a fortnight and spend most of my time at home on my own. Didn't know anybody in the street, didn't know anybody really. And then a friend said about this place, so I came down, and I haven't looked back since really.
We work with the local doctor's surgery, and they have been really extremely supportive, and they refer people to us when somebody's got depression or problems like that. They refer people to us for counselling, because with the National Health you've got to wait, 6-8 months? Well, people haven't got that long to wait.
It's a privilege being a GP, but we work within the pressures of the NHS, which limit us in the amount of time that we can give to people. So when people are struggling with illness, mental health difficulties in particular, it would be lovely to have the same GP and have regular access. The reality is the pressures of the system, we can't always provide that. So we need to have some other consistency in people's lives that's going to support them through difficult times. I've been working here about 17 years now, and different services have come and gone over the years in the community. And when the Crafty Fox came to be, I visited and discovered what a great community resource this could be, or could turn out to be. I met Nina, who is our community builder, who has been central to the development of that service. And gradually we became more aware as a whole team in the surgery, all the doctors, nurses and administrative staff, that this is a place that people could be directed to who are struggling in life generally, perhaps isolated, lonely, people that just need hope for the future, where they perhaps don't see any hope in their lives.
When I first come in, we had a little chart thing that we used to do, and I was virtually at the bottom. But then, when I sort of finished, I was towards the top. which made me feel good, because I don't have many friends, being that I've only been here for a few years, but I'm meeting new people.
The whole community seems now to be aware that the cafe exists, and the reputation of the cafe, without question, is really, really good. People find it a helpful place to go to, and they're not surprised when me or one of my colleagues suggests that they pop into the Crafty Fox to see one of the volunteers, to see what can be done for them.
From where I was to where I am now, I never thought I could be this happy. I never thought it. When you're ready to check out, you don't think about anybody else. You don't, everybody else, they just don't exist. All you want is the heartache and the pain to stop. Sorry. I can't believe how much my life's changed. I would think, or I'd like to think, that this place has saved lives, a lot of lives. Because I think half of these people, including me, I'd have probably checked out by now if it weren't for this place. And I think a lot of them would have done. It means a lot to a lot of people. They don't always come down every day, but they know somebody's here for them if they need it.
I think it's intimate because it's a small building. If we were a larger building, the thing with a large building, if we were to do hot meals for people, it sort of almost loses it as somewhere to come in and have somewhere to eat, not actually somewhere to come and have a chat and have a coffee and spend time with other people. It changes the dynamics of that. So I think it's quite unique that we don't do food. We just do cake and a coffee, but it's more about the chat rather than what we can provide for people.
It's silly because that's such trivial things that I've done. There's a guy sitting out front having a fag and a cup of tea at the minute. He wanted a table, so we went around the garage and we knocked one up between us. He'd never used a cordless drill and screwdriver. Well, a lot of people looking at it probably wouldn't even recognise it as a table, but to him, it made him, he was over the moon. He shook my hand, he said, "Nobody's got time for me." Yes, sorry. It's just stupid little things make a lot of difference. Yeah, it's just, like I said, it's just tiny little gestures, that makes so much difference to people. A lot of people don't realise that. I didn't realise it at first, I was doing these things, and then somebody asked me about stuff. I just got overwhelmed by it. It's like I said earlier, it's like family. I mean, how do you invest in family? Everybody's there for each other. We all invest our time in each other. Impact is I'm not, whereas I would be at home doing nothing, isolated, not getting out and about, where this way I know I'll go to the cafe for cake and coffee. No, only the fact is that it was the best thing they ever did when they put it here. As I say, they're all friendly, every member of staff and that's friendly, and they go out their way to help you. It was just an escape route. They helped me so much. I gained my confidence back, and last year my friend offered me to go in her shop, and I just haven't looked back really. My self-esteem, I'll go out and talk to people, I'll confront people, because in a business you've got to speak to people as customers, and it's really, really helped me, the Crafty Fox.